decrees. Let's get it. Mark and Will, yeah. Mark and Will, yeah. It's the Mark and Will Show. It's the Mark and Will Show. Monday through Friday, player. Watch it while you on the go. It's the Mark and Will Show. It's the Mark and Will Show. Catch them at 8 p.m. They gon' tell you what they know. It's the Mark and Will Show. It's the Mark and Will Show. Monday through Friday, player. Watch it while you on the go. It's the Mark and Will Show. It's the Mark and Will Show. Catch them at 8 p.m. They gon' tell you what they know.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to another great episode of the Mark and Will Show. And of course, you got your favorite two hosts of the most, Mark and Will. What's up, my brother?
What's going on with you, man?
Monday.
Monday.
Fresh week.
Monday.
Fresh week, man. We back.
Yeah.
We back here. Hope everybody got a fabulous weekend. How was your weekend, brother?
Hey, man, I can't complain, man. It was cool. It was relaxation,
Absolutely.
grouping, all that kind of stuff. At a banger, you know what I'm saying? At a surprise show. We'll talk about that a little later after the C.
Yeah.
So definitely make sure you tune in. We're going to talk about that a little bit, but we had some good ones. Before we dive into it, how about yourself? How was your weekend?
It was cool. Relaxation, getting your mind right, getting everything together for the show and stuff. Stay working. Got to.
That's a must. No problem with that. That's a must. We did get out to a scrimmage. We was able to go see Mel in the Highlands.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So that was good. It is definitely football season. So check that out without a doubt. There was something else that was actually, I thought the game was over at the second quarter. I was ready to wrap it up.
Right.
And I'm like, well, hold on, man. I mean, because, normally scrimmages are kind of quicker.
Yeah,
and
they
all that
are.
kind of
Most
stuff
definitely
like that.
are.
So it kind of threw me off a little bit. So, I mean, glad to get out there and see the people.
Support them. Yes, I are.
So, it's all good. Big time, man. Kind of threw me off, though.
Yeah.
Today,
Everybody, I think.
Yeah. I was gone. But today we got a special guest who will be joining us a little later on in the show. Make sure you check it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be Portland Christian's head girls basketball coach. Bragg will join us, so it should be a good one. You know what I'm saying? Look forward for that one and all that. And I'm going to tell you what, thank God for Twitter, because, he was one of the ones who reached out and wanted to be on the show to talk about his program. So we welcome that big time with that. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. And also, shout out to Ronald Howard, one of the youngins. He's going away to college tomorrow. So, hey, wish you nothing but the best, nephew.
The best. Right.
Nothing but the best, man. So that should be a good one.
Absolutely.
Everybody
leaving, man.
Right.
Time
to go. Time to go, without a doubt. So, yeah, man. So that's a toughie. So, they just going to, better themselves, become better young men, and do what they got to do, and better young women. So, hats off to them and all that kind of good stuff like that. Let's see. I can see. Right. It's like it's his father. All right, social media, you guys know where to catch us at. If not, now you know, because we probably got some new people going to watch this show. So www.markandwillshow.com. That'll get you up to speed, the podcast, all that stuff. I need to update. I meant to update it the other day, but I will update it for you guys. For the people who just want to listen, or maybe cannot watch it, and, maybe do a little workout, want to, get informed by us. So, definitely that. So make sure Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, of course, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. TikTok's a little bit different.
Absolutely.
TikTok is
Yes,
a
it
little
is.
bit different because it's like the after show, and we go ahead and just debrief, talk about the show and different things,
Everything.
different highlights. So,
Yep.
might want to go ahead and go ahead and follow us on that Mark and Will Show on TikTok. So that's a lot of fun. So
Yes.
check it out, big time. Boom. FNC. Hey, we had one we dropped Saturday just because of all the football and stuff like that for Friday.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one. We had a ball talking about the different stuff was going on. If you haven't checked it out, you really need to check it out.
Please.
That's actually what you see at the bottom of the screen. FNC calling Friday Night Crew. That's the channel.
Yeah.
That's the channel. So this
Subscribe to it.
this right there gets go on YouTube and type that in, and you'll see all the shows. And actually, some of the shows are on this channel. You know what I'm saying? Before we move it. So check it out. Enjoy it. Should be fun. Big time like that. Also, I think she's only going to be gifted so many things that she needs to do, and it's going to be more racial, bring the community together type things. I don't think she's going to have the run of the mill of a regular president. Because, and I would say this, the owner, even though it ain't Al Davis' son, so he's running and he's going to run that. But I can't be mad at Brandon for saying that because I think it is true. I think it's about a look. But you know what? Sometimes you got to say, shit, I don't care. Let's get a little sample of that. So definitely tune into that. Now we got the gaming.
Yeah.
Mark and Will Gaming. YouTube channel, Mark and Will Gaming.
Please, everybody, I need everybody to get up and subscribe to that channel. Got everything working correctly now, so that everything will be jumping off this week. Yes, got everything I need. Bro got his stuff, so we coming. We're coming. I just gotta figure out what I'm playing first.
Yes, definitely check that out. Should be fun times. Go ahead, get the usernames and all that kind of good stuff. And, we'll rock and roll with that.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Hey, Mom, what's going on?
Hey.
How you doing? There he is.
Who's that?
It's Brian Simpson. What's going on? How you doing? Hey, hats off to him because he be tweeting our stuff and all that kind of good stuff. So we really appreciate what you're doing always girls basketball season. That's right, it is. That's
Absolutely.
right. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We really appreciate you and the retweets and the likes. So thank you for joining and helping us out and helping us grow.
Right.
All right, so we ready to get into the nitty gritty.
Yes, sir.
Let's get into some baseball.
Hit y'all with the scores from Sunday, August 7th first. Pittsburgh beat the Orioles 8-1. I really don't want to say this score, but I have to. The Mets beat ATL 5-2. LA Dodgers beat San Diego 4-0. Guardians beat Houston 1-0. What a great game that was, huh? Philly beat Washington 13-1. Tampa Bay, they thumped Detroit 7-0. KC thumped Red Sox 13-5. It was a lot of blowouts I see going on.
Right.
Red Sox beat Milwaukee 4-2. Blue Jays beat the Twins 3-2. Cardinals beat the Yankees 12-9. Miami beat the Cubs 3-0. White Sox beat Texas 8-2. Giants beat the A's 6-4. Seattle beat the Angels 6-3. Diamondbacks took care of the Rockies 6-4. Monday, August 8th, we got some games going on actually right now. Blue Jays is down to Baltimore 5-1 at the top of the fourth. The Mets is beating Cincinnati Reds 3-1 at the top of the fourth. Nationals Cubs is zip at the top of the first, which is just started. Then you got the games coming on later on the night. Y'all gonna stay up for them. Pittsburgh, Diamondbacks, Angels, A's, Giants, Padres, Yankees, and Seattle.
Woo, come on. We got a Reds fan coming on because he had his own line. So I'm gonna need the Reds to go ahead and do me a solid. Go ahead and beat the Mets. Something that the Braves only did one time out of about 4 or 5 games. It seemed like this weekend. A lot of doubleheaders. So let's go on and get into the standings. real quick, you have the Yankees in the American League East with a 9.5 game lead over the Blue Jays. In the Central, you have the Twins holding on to a 1 game lead over the Guardians and 2 game leads over the White Sox. In the West, you got the Astros doing their thing. Astros is doing it.
Yeah.
They're 11 game up on the Mariners. National League East, you got the Mets who went ahead and won 3 straight over the Braves, so they'll push that out to 6.5 lead over the Braves. And Philadelphia Phillies is in there. They're only 9.5, so Braves need to wake up, take care of some business.
Absolutely.
St. Louis Cardinals in the Central. That's a 2 game lead over the Brewers. You see, they be flipping and flopping.
Right.
And all it takes is a series, and you lose because the Cardinals won 7 in a row.
Sure.
Take care of business. In the West, you got the Dodgers expanding that lead to a 15.5 lead over the Padres. And the thing about it, all the Padres got to do is just keep on winning, though, because they're trying to get in that wild card. Get the wild card just like the Braves is trying to get that. So everybody, just continue to do what you got to do, and you're going to be there. Braves got to wake up. Ever since that trade deadline, they ain't done nothing.
Right.
And actually a week before that. So need to go ahead and should have addressed some more issues, apparently. So yeah, that right there is the scoreboard, standings, and all that good stuff brought to you by A28 Apparel.
Wait.
Let me see. Let's go to WNBA.
Which you had yesterday. You had Connecticut and Chicago. Chicago took care of business and beat them 94-91. And of course you got LA and Washington. Washington beat them 79-67. Then you got the Aces and Storms. Aces beat them 89-81. Then you got the Dream in Milwaukee. Milwaukee won 81-71. Minnesota. I said Milwaukee. Jesus Christ, yeah.
Milwaukee's probably hoping.
Right. We got one.
Did they break it for us? Did they break the news?
But you got a game on right now. You got Liberty and the Wings that actually just came on. The Wings is up 6-4.
And actually, let me see the standings real quick. Like you guys know, the top 8 teams make the playoffs. So right now, you already got 5 that's a clinch. That's Chicago Sky, Las Vegas Aces, Connecticut Sun, Seattle Storm, Washington Mystics. They done bounced back. I heard you. Washington.
Yeah,
they done bounced back.
What's that? 8, 1, 2, 3. LA from up. I mean, because we know Indiana Fever's done. Yeah. So but that's going to be a tight race for that 8th spot.
6 through 7 and 8, you got the Wings, the Dream, and the Mercury. And like you said, you got a lot from 13, from really 7 on down. Because Wings race. Right now, you got 2 game lead, basically 3, well actually 2.5 over Dream. So that right there, and it's not that many games left. I don't think. I think this might be the last week of the game.
Ooh, is it?
It should be. So if that's the case, you talking about, let's see. There's only so many because...
Right, exactly.
But no, I see next week. Okay. So August the 18th is when the first round
of the playoffs start. Okay, next Thursday.
So basically you got like... you got only a little bit to go ahead and take care of business. So,
better get it together.
Yeah, so that's just the nitty gritty on that. Sue Bird played her last home game yesterday, took a loss, but young lady is 41, going to be 42.
Right.
She's a 5-time, actually, I'm sorry, she's I think it's a 4-time Olympian, 5-time champion or something, 4-time champion, and also college champion, Wnba champion. She is very, very decorative. It'd be interesting to see if she's going to go ahead and get into college coaching or pro. You know what I'm saying? Because she's very, very, very knowledgeable of the game. So either way she wants to go, I'm pretty sure anybody would love to have her. And Sylvia Fowles, who also plays for the Lynx. This is her last year too, so this is a matter of time before Tarasi leaves, hangs it up too, because she's not too far off now.
Right.
So you got a lot of these older ladies that are going to have to bow out, so the younger generation got to get it together.
Yeah, absolutely. right about that one.
Because if people have not seen that, like I said, a documentary of it at 92 or whatever, that Olympic team of the ladies,
Yeah.
that was cutthroat. That was really something. So, thank you, Brian. We really appreciate you. I love the show. He said, I got the Mets 1.5 over tonight. Hey, right. It's the Reds. I figured. That's a heck of a bet right there. Shoot, you can't dispute that. That right there is gold. Yes. Let's see. Let's get into one thing. Let's say this NBA. It's only one thing in NBA, and this is very, very crucial. So, its players must be vaxxed to play in Canada. So they're gonna have to be have that shot, have that COVID shot, and whatever else shot that you gotta have.
It's gonna be a lot of players not travel over. What?
Yeah. Heck, the players on the team.
Yep, that too.
Yeah, you talking about everybody's making fun of Brooklyn.
Right. It's going to be a lot of players that not going across that border and not playing. So,
and the thing about it, let's keep it 100. That's Canada's rule.
Exactly.
That's not no NBA.
Exactly.
NBA is just trying to let them know, hey, bros, y'all cannot play over there if you're not.
Right. If you're not, hey,
so,
you're going to be home in that game.
Right.
You're going to be at the crib.
Be at the crib and minus a check.
Exactly.
Yeah, you ain't getting paid for that. They're going to take it out. They're going to find a way to recuperate that money. So
absolutely.
I saw that. I was like, whoa.
Yeah,
okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
What are you playing with y'all?
Yeah, it's a lot of people who is not.
No,
so,
it's a route.
If they can get their team, they'd be set. You
Yep.
know? But, the thing about it is they ain't no telling what kind of conversations that they done had, with the players, the coaches, like, hey, this is coming.
Right.
This is coming down. Nothing just all of a sudden pops. They already like, hey, because it's picking back up.
Exactly.
The numbers is growing, and
yep.
And these players, let's be real, they got the finances. They ain't just coming home to Alabama or something. You know what I'm saying? They flying all over the world.
Everywhere.
So look, they gonna say, look, make sure you get that monkeypox and everything. Anything else that comes dropping that deserves a shot, you better get it.
You better get it.
Better get it. Canada, and that's the thing about it. To be so close, Canada does not play.
No, they don't. No, not at all.
So, hey, heads up. They telling y'all, you want that money, y'all sign that big money over there?
You better get it.
Yeah, otherwise,
it's for a trade. Do what you need to do.
Yeah.
You still ain't better go over and play.
Right. Still you can sit at home, and then you ain't gonna get that money anyway.
Right.
So, you're gonna have to think about that one. Big time.
They absolutely are.
Now, this dropped the other day. Our guy, we love some Hunt.
Yes, sir.
He wants to trade. And the Browns said, nope.
You know what's so crazy? I'm not mad at him because he wants an extension. And he has been balling.
Yeah.
Them are the one hell of a 2-1-2 punch, whatever.
Oh,
but
boy,
that
GM,
if that GM was still there, that brought him there, he would have been paid.
Oh, yeah.
He would have been paid, but he's not there. Yeah. So now you trapped in a situation. He's in a messed up situation.
The good thing is only one more year, so
right.
I'm pretty sure he got some money. So if he wants to sit out, he can sit out.
Right.
I wouldn't. But,
I'm not most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? As a running back, but hey, he has that. That's on the table. You only got one more year. So basically, this right here really forces their hand. Yep. They can say no, but look, I'm not coming back anyway, dude. Like
at all.
You know what I'm saying? So you want to go get a draft pick?
Do what you do.
Because there's plenty of teams that can use Hunt.
Yeah.
Everybody remember he's still young. He was with Kansas City when he had that incident.
And the crazy thing about it, he can go back to Kansas City. I'm pretty sure they sit there and like, well, shoot, hold on, man.
Yeah.
What can we do?
That stuff was dropped.
Right.
Yeah, but heck, that ruling of my man Watson, that opens up the door a lot
of everything.
Yeah, so
everything.
Yeah, he can go anywhere. He can go anywhere, bro.
I'm gonna be really looking into this.
Hey, all I know is you better. Hey, Cleveland, if you got any sense, man, if this dude really does not want to play for you guys, you better trade him.
Trade him.
Get a 5th round, 4th round, 5th round, something like that. Because like I said, he's still young. And hey, split the job duties, help. Plus, like I said, Chubb's always hurt. He gets hurt. He gets dinged up a lot.
Yeah.
He gets dinged up a lot. So I can see them like you, hey, nah, partner.
Right. Right.
Because we know boy ain't gonna make it. Well, you should extend them.
Might as well.
Yeah, you should extend them. But like you said, people don't realize that with those GM changes, you may not be his kind of guy.
You might not be exactly. They
That's
probably,
okay.
He left. Jesus.
Yeah.
Gave him another chance and he gone.
Right. That part. That part. Yes. See if they got nothing from Brian real quick. Let's see. I like the reds, but I love the green. All right, yeah. Sometimes you got to put that money on that the winning team. So I understand that without a doubt. So all right. Let's go to this next one. Next topic. Let's see. There we go.
Here we go.
This right here is the listing of the Hall of Fame class that just went in.
Oh, yeah.
Get it live. And that right there, that happened over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And that was some names that, very familiar with. You have Ellie, offensive tackle from the Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
Won't take former #1 pick. You got Brian Young, 49ers defensive tackle. Forever known for me when he broke his leg in the Super Bowl and all this kind of stuff. Had some dominant years. Richard Seymour, defensive tackle for the New England Patriots. Monster. Branch, receiver for Raiders. Actually, he had a lot of records and led the league and things like that. For some years. Mm-hmm. Safety Leroy Butler for the Packers. It kind of shocked me, but when you look at it, he was an all-decade player, stuff like that, so not really shocking when you look at that. Linebacker Sam Mills, rest in peace, the Saints. He was a monster. Coach Dick Vermeil, an official, Art McNally became the first official to get in the Hall.
Yeah.
So, salute that class.
Absolutely. Congratulations.
Yeah, 8 of them got in there. So, next year it's going to be a doozy because they always sound like Revis and all them guys. This one right here, the Bears, they lose N'Keal Harry out for severe ankle injuries. Mm-hmm. Very important, just because when you got a team that does not have a lot of weapons.
Exactly.
Except for Mooney.
Yep.
Is that the only one, pretty much?
Just got there.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah. And, it's a high ankle sprain. It's like the worst. So hopefully he would get back. Learn a new system, that kind of stuff. For all the Bears fans.
Yeah.
You better hope that everything's all right.
Right. That ain't looking good.
That's not looking good at all. They already talking about
Just
that.
got him.
Right. Just got him. That's not good. Seahawks. Now this is funny to me. Not because I'm making fun of my nephew's team, but their quarterback battle is Geno Smith and Drew Lock. See, people think that these Hall of Fame quarterbacks can be replaced. Easy. Don't follow that Kool-Aid. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Please don't.
Jesus.
Because when you look at it, not everybody can go from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers.
No.
And that was bumpy because they ain't like each other. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Or Peyton to Luck. You know what I'm saying? Even though he got hurt. Some people, Montana to Young.
Yep.
Man, not everybody's blessed like that. And when I look at this battle, it's really a battle. And this is really your two people.
It's your two people. Geno, you better win it. You done better for 50 years. You better get that job. But watch the young boy be on the sideline rapping to that Jeezy. He gonna get it. He gonna get them hyped up because he's rapping. Wow.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't. Hey, but this is stupid. Geno Smith should get it. Like, honestly, that system. You've been there for a while. You should get this job.
You lose that, they just let you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think you're that good of a quarterback anyway.
Right, but he
if
should
Drew
get
come in there and get it on this first rip, you might as well just
He might as well
I'll just
retire.
say I'm just a second, backup in this, please.
Yes.
Please.
You got plenty of money
Make
for
it
the
live,
NFL.
make it living off that anyway.
Right.
Continue, but woo-wee.
Yeah, college analyst.
That is so funny. That is so funny.
Yes.
That's the battle.
You better win it.
Bucks. Godwin returns to practice after tearing his ACL, MCL. Heads off to him. That's another weapon for Tom Brady.
Jesus,
He came back in the fold. So, hey, man, that was kind of quick.
I just hope that he's healthy because, fantasy football coming.
Right. Speaking of fantasy football, if you want to join our league, you need to come on and DM us or whatever you got to do because we got a couple of slots for you available. So we got to come up with the day when we do this draft. Yep. So, hey, make sure, what you going to do?
I'll let us.
Big time.
That's a good pickup coming back, though.
Oh, heck yeah.
That's why I said Julio's going to play there all year. You ain't got to worry about it.
Right. The Ravens, they signed that almighty kicker, Tucker. Rumor is 4-year, $24 million, the highest paid kicker, just like he should be.
He deserves it.
I mean, who else is
going to do it?
Who's going to get it?
Nobody.
Come on, bro.
He deserves it. And like you said, if y'all would go back and watch our shows, he said he's not going to get his face in the Hall of Fame. His leg is going to be in there in the Hall of Fame. That's a bad dude, man. I just say he's in my division, but
he make more money than some of these other cats do. I mean, he deserves it, though.
No,
I ain't going to lie. He
deserves it. Yes, he does.
You deserve it.
He done got them out of a lot of sticky situations.
Yeah, plus they ain't got to score a lot.
No.
All right. Here we go. This is what y'all like. We're going to give you what y'all like. Now.
I hope this is a good one.
No, but we gotta finish up some of this old stuff.
What? What's that?
The green.
Ah, shoot. Nobody. Jesus.
Yeah, the green. And actually, we're going to look on this, and I think it's pretty much done. So let me go ahead and go online real quick and get an update, because Derek was leading. So let's go and see it, and we're just going to let this rock and roll, whatever it is. That's who's winning last week's, I'm sorry. Derek Thomas, 73-27. So, there it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Derek's in there.
Yes, sir.
So let's go and move that out of there.
Still love you, Kevin.
Oh, yeah.
Double dog. People have spoken.
We ain't gonna need no people for this one.
Chicago?
We ain't gonna need no people for this one. Best linebacker bracket, Andre Tippett, who was a bad man, versus Mr. Mike Singletary. Andre, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I mean, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a Hall of Famer. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry that you had to go up against this. I don't know who made that bracket. We do not have to figure this out. We do not have to post this one.
I got to figure it out.
On any social media.
No, not at all. I got to figure this one out.
This right here is definitely Mr. Mike Singletary.
Mike.
Ex-coach.
Yep.
Baylor Burr.
Yep.
Will knock you out. His eyes, intensities was just so. Yeah, man. That was when I saw that. I said, that's a real easy. But hey, to play the game, you got to put this stuff out there. So hey, let me get you on out here real quick. Yeah, you out of that. All right, let's go on Bragg in, Coach. He's calling in.
Coach, yes sir.
So let's see if we can get this going right here. All right. We are. Can you hear us, Coach?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, we are. We are very live right now. We are very, very excited to have Coach Jason Bragg on the show from Portland Christian, girls basketball coach. Give us a chance to learn about Portland Christian. So this right here is great. A lot of times we bring coaches on that we might know a little bit more about. But this right here, we ready to drill you with some questions, Coach. How you doing, Coach?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm ready for it. Drill away. I'm ready for this.
Good. So actually, I want to do like a your review. Last year, you guys actually had accomplished some feats that you haven't accomplished maybe in a long time or first time ever. So give us a little review of last year's season.
Yeah, last year was a great year for us, especially on the court. Off the court, I'll get to that in a minute. We had a lot of adversity that we had to go through last year, but really for what we were able to do on the court, we broke the school record for most wins in a season. This is a school that's been around for 99 years. Obviously, I didn't play basketball for 99 years, the last 99 years, but we were able to do that twice in the last 3 years. We've been able to break the record. So huge accomplishment for our girls. We made the LIT, which is the first time ever in the history of the school has ever made the LIT. So huge accomplishment there. We won our holiday classic, which is always good. We finished third in our district, which might not sound that great, but when you have Central and Manual, who are both two top 20 teams in the state, that's a big thing. We've never finished third in our district, so to get to that point was a great thing. So we had, in our district it's tough, Manual and Central, and then you go into Shawnee and Presentation and St. Francis. I mean, it's a tough district, and not saying other districts aren't tough, but I feel like ours is definitely one of the tougher ones within the two regions here in Louisville. So. So we had great accomplishments there. We had individual accomplishments. We had a girl who scored over 2,000 career points. We had another girl who scored over 1,000 points as well. So a lot of individual accomplishments. And off the court was tough. I mean, it was a tough season. Just trying to. We had, I think, 20 games that were actually canceled that had to either be rescheduled or had to. Try to make up just with new teams. We had, after the first game of the year, she was a sophomore previously, and she was top 50 in the state in rebounding, and she tore her ACL after the first game. So she was out. 2 weeks later, we had a girl that got hit by a car and broke her collarbone. So she was out for the year. And so, I mean, it just kept coming after us every which way. And then we ended up, we beat Presentation in our All-A regional to get to play in the championship game, which we've never beat Presentation before in the history of our school. So that was a big accomplishment as it was. So we get to the championship game, and the night before we find out that we had a COVID case and we had to forfeit the game. And so we couldn't play in the championship game to go to the state tournament. So that was rough. And then that was right like at the end of December. So it was like, Christmas and stuff. So we had 2.5 weeks. We found out we were going to LIT. We had 2.5 weeks where we didn't have practice at all. And we went into the first game coming in against Butler. We played well in the beginning, and then we died off. I mean, we just, 2.5 weeks off, our girls were just not conditioned enough to withhold it. But overall, I mean, it's been a great season for us last year. Should be an excellent season upcoming for us as well. A lot of returnees, some new fresh faces as well. It's going to be an exciting year. I'm excited for us and for our school and for these girls.
Let me ask you right off the bat. Is Miss 2000 coming back?
Yeah, oh yeah, yep. So so her name is Ellie Hyde. She just committed to Asbury over the weekend. So she's going to be going to Asbury the following year. But she has over 2,000 points. She has a chance to reach 3,000 this year. And so if she should possibly, I mean, depending on injuries and COVID and all that stuff, she should very well get to be top 25 all-time scoring in the state. So she's a great player. I mean, if she was, I think even Asbury's coach said, hey, if you were 5 or 6 inches taller, you wouldn't be talking to me right now. She's a bulldog. She's tough. She's just small, and it's part of the game where a lot of colleges want some of these taller players, and which is understandable. But she plays a lot taller than what she is, and there's going to be some teams that guarantee are going to look back on it and say, "Man, we passed up on a good one here," because she's really tough.
So, for the people who do not know, give us a little rundown of Portland Christian as far as like location and school size, and this all things about Portland Christian that people may not know.
Yeah, so we're located in Louisville over off Westport Road. We just moved in the campus. I guess it's been, I'm going to be wrong here, but maybe 7 years ago or so. We used to be downtown in Portland, downtown Louisville. We moved over to this. We took over, I think it was Mother Good Council was the building. And so they're actually building a new high school building, and they're working on that right now. So Portland is, creating a new high school building. It's a very small school. It's the last time I checked, it was probably like the 20. According to KHSAA, it was like the 27th smallest school in the state. So we have maybe 75 girls in our high school. So for us to go up against teams that have 200 girls in their class, it makes a huge. I mean, that's a big difference. And for us to compete and really beat some of these teams and put our stamp on it is a big thing for us. So we're excited of just the publicity that we've gotten here over the last couple of years, because it wasn't always good. Back in 2014, there was a 3 or 4 year stretch where I think they won a total of 4 games. So we've come a long way since that, and my plan is that even though when we have girls graduate, that we will continue to develop the younger girls, because that's a huge thing that we have. We're a K through 12 school, so we can really help and develop the girls from elementary all the way through middle school up into high school. So I work with those coaches and make sure that we're teaching them the right way and that we're developing them. Now you're going to have girls that leave early. You're going to have girls that decide they don't want to play, and you're going to have newcomers. But for the girls that stick through it, which there's a lot of them, it's a huge advantage for us that we can have at Portland Christian on the high school level.
No, without a doubt, that's definitely like that. So, Coach, how long have you been there?
So I'm going into my 4th. Well, I've been there for a while, but I'm going into my 4th year as coaching the girls team. The year before that, I was an assistant coach on the boys team, and so I've been coaching for about 13 years or so. I've coached boys and girls. I've coached all different levels, elementary, middle, high school. So this will be my 4th year coming in here at Portland.
How was the adjustment? Was this the first time coaching girls, or have you coached girls in the past?
Yeah, I coached girls in the past. I've coached boys and girls, and honestly, I prefer coaching girls over the boys. It's nothing wrong with boys by any means, but the girls, I'll tell you, they leave their egos really at check at the door, and they want to win, and they trust you. I'm not saying boys don't, but you have a lot who think they're the next, everyone's Jordan or LeBron, and these girls don't think that. They're coming in thinking, hey, the coach knows everything there is in the world. We're going to listen to him. So if he tells us to walk backwards, it's going to help us win before the game starts. They're going to walk backwards before the game starts. I mean, they're going to do whatever you say, and it's an easy coachable position as far as coaching girls. I feel like obviously you have some different emotions and you have different things, but you have that even with boys. So I always hear that. Well, you probably have to deal with the emotions in girls and how they react, but boys were just as bad. So no, I enjoy coaching the girls. It's a fun.
So, Coach, what kind of style of offense do you run?
Yeah, so offensively, really it just in the early ages, the elementary, middle, we try to teach kind of a 5-out offense just for spacing. We don't necessarily run it very much in high school. On the high school level, we run it some, but when we run our sets, they have to know how to be able to play basketball. How are you going to respond if something breaks down? You got to know your spacing and cutting and filling and having those just the general things. Because for us, when we were kids, we'd go out and play basketball or football or whatever with our friends. We'd play all night long. We'd come home and do that. Well, kids don't do that. I mean, you have some, but it's not the normal thing where they just continuously playing and picking up those things. So we try to teach that in an early age. On the high school level, it really just depends on the team that I have. Luckily, I'm able to run the offense that I enjoy the most. But if I have to run a flex offense or something that I don't necessarily enjoy teaching, but that's going to help us put our players in best position, that's what I'm going to run. But currently, right now, we have 2 types of offense that we run. I really like horns, running a horn set with 2 post high and 2 guards in the corners. There's so many actions that you can run off of it, and You can run Iverson cuts, you can run elevator screens, you can run dribble handoffs, you can run high low, you can run
I
UCLA
like
cuts, you
Coach.
can
I like
run
that elevator screen though.
yeah,
When it's ran the right way, perfection.
yeah,
Oh man, that's.
yeah.
But go ahead. I'm sorry, Coach. I just.
Yeah, no. We actually we called a timeout against Fort Knox and got her name's Kayla Ballard. She was trying to get her 1,000 points, and we called a timeout and ran that for an elevator screen. She knocked it down. It always feels good as a coach, right? When you call a timeout and actually run something and it works. Like you just want to. It doesn't happen all the time, but it's good when it does. But no, it's Hordes is so versatile. I mean, you can run flex cuts off of it. You can run double screens, high screens, dribble handoffs. And the good thing about it is it looks the same, but there's so many different actions off of it. But for our motion type that we run a continuing motion pick and roll offense. So if you watch Gonzaga, we run kind of a similar style as what they do. One of the biggest things in high school, as opposed to like college, if you ask any college players, they'll tell you what the biggest difference between college to high school was, and it will be communication. Communication is, even from some of the best teams, basketball, boys and girls side, their coaches will tell you that communication is one of the toughest things, getting high schoolers to communicate properly and the right thing. And when you can run a continuously motion of a pick and roll offense and putting those players in those positions and finding that weak link as far as, communication goes, you can really score out of it. And the good thing about that I really like about that offense is that, if it doesn't work on one side, we're reversing it to the other side and we're putting someone else in that same situation. And it really teaches, I feel like, the game really well, especially for our guards, teaches them, to really understand, okay, as a player going under the screen, going over the screen. And then also how's your the person who's setting the screen for you, how's their defender reacting? Are they hedging? Are they doubling? Are they just straight up switching? And then even if you have an advantage and you beat them into the lane, what's the weak side person doing? Are they staying on a shooter? Or are they hedging over? So it really teaches them and how to play the game and how to react to certain situations. And I tell you honestly, we run it maybe 2 or 3 times and we can get a good shot out of it. Because teams will fall asleep. We'll get used to, they're coming for a screen and this is what we're going to do. And then you just take a baseline and then you got a wide open layup. So there's a lot of good things within that offense that I really like to run with it. But I'm open to running anything. I mean, whatever can get us some points and get us some scores, I'm going to do it. So,
how much patience do you have? Because, like you said, you do have a unique advantage that, like, if you have some girls that come straight up, how much patience as a coach do you have when you have on the varsity level, the young ladies is maybe she done not running to perfection or as good as she should because she's been exposed to it for some years.
Yeah, well, it's different. Obviously, if you're running something at the middle school level as opposed to the high school level as well. We even have, arguably the girl I was talking about who committed to Asbury, Ellie Hyde. I mean, she even still makes mistakes as far as, running the screens and how to read it. And so, it's always a learning process, and I have patience with them. Obviously, the only things I don't have patience, and I tell the girls this, you're going to make mistakes. Like, you're going to miss shots. You're going to dribble off your foot. Like, that's fine. Like, things happen in basketball, right? But one thing that I won't deal with is if you're not giving all your effort. Hustle is something that you don't have to teach. I shouldn't have to teach you if you're going out there and getting everything that you have. So if the girls are not hustling, they know right away they're coming to the bench. Like, I don't play around with that very much, and I don't have favorites on our team. I don't care if you're the best player, you scored 3,000 points, or you average 20 rebounds. If you're not getting in there and you're not rebounding, you're not hustling, getting back on defense, then you're coming out. Like, that's just the way it is. I'll take a loss before I, go off of what my morals and my values are in that regards.
Right. Man, I don't blame you, Coach. How about your defensive style? What kind of defense do you guys run?
Yeah, so defensively, I kind of run it like a football. Honestly, I've always looked at it to the aspect of, you don't have a defense that goes out every Saturday, every Sunday and plays a cover 2 only, right? Like, they're going to mix it up, right? They're going to play man. They're going to, do some blitzes. They're going to do some safety blitzes as well. And so I think it's really easy if you just straight up play man to man or you just play zone. It's really easy for teams to scout against you, right? Like, everybody has access to film and everybody watches everybody. So you know exactly how to prepare your team the best. If you say, okay, well, this is what this team does, this is what we need to focus on. But that's not what we do. We typically will mix it up. Even we'll mix it up pretty much every possession. We will try to mix it up as well. So we'll run a diamond press. We'll run 2-2-1 press. We'll run a half court trap. We'll run a 1-3-1. We'll run a matchup zone, full deny man. So, we do a lot of different things. Our bread and butter has always been a half court trap. I like to get our girls scrambling. I like us to get out and run and really get after it. Now, obviously, when we're playing against Manual and Central, you just got to be smart. You're not going to be able to, run and trap them. It's not going to turn out very well for you. So you have to be smart. You have to really, and even when we play those teams, we go about it the same business as we would any other team. We scout them. We spend the time on them just like we would any other team. We prepare our girls that we're going in there to compete and try to win the game. And, obviously, if we lose by 30 or 40, we're still going in there to prepare and plan just like we're taking care of business any other way. So we're going to have scouting reports on who's the shooter, who's not. Hey, we need to pack it in on this. We need to go out on this player. So we're gonna still go at it, and it teaches our girls how to play against different types of opponents. But it is tough for us. Defensively, we have to mix it up a lot because with where we are as a unit is we'll have some games where we can win by 30 or 40 or lose by 30 or 40 because some of the top 5 teams in our region are top 25 teams in the state, and so you're going to have games where it's going to be really tough for you. And when we're in the middle of the pack of our region, sitting there maybe a little bit above the middle of the pack, 6th or 7th, it makes it tough for us. We're going to have to learn different types of defenses. And, some games we're going to have to push the ball up the court. Some days we're going to have to limit possessions on them. So,
Coach, and I was just thinking, because I know you know how like in footballs, you got different classes, you got 6A and all this kind of stuff. And I know you participate in a tournament that you said at the beginning. Do you wish that it was like that? Like it was like those different classes like that all the way through? Or are you like, nah, I like it how it is. Everybody's playing, everybody with a chance for the state?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's a lot of people have different opinions on it, and so I like that. But no, I'm good with it the way it is. I'm glad that we have a Class A state. It allows us to compete and go to a state, and that's what we really play for. We want to get to that Class A state and compete. And I tell you, the Class A teams are tough. I think this last year there were 3 or so Class A teams that were in the the big 4A state. So there's some really good small school teams out there. Even locally, there's some really great teams, here within our region, as well as in, the other region as well. Whitfield had a great season as well. They're a small school. So, there's some good teams that are out there that, can really make some noise and can hang with some of the big schools. But I like it. I want to play against, I think to have a true champion, I think you need to line them all up and let's play, because anybody can have, especially in basketball, anybody can have an off night. We've had games where we shouldn't have won that we won, and we've had games where we should have won where we lost. Right. So, I like the way it is. I think it's an okay format. And I know a lot of people don't, but I'm good with it.
So when the Class A tournament starts and things like, when is that played? Like, when is that start? Because, like you said, you still have opportunity to play for the Sweet 16 and all this. So when is that tournament held?
Yeah, it's like right in the middle of the season, January. So we're playing that, and we're focusing on that, and that's one thing that you have to really get focused on is if you don't make it or you lose, you come up short. We still have the rest of the season. Like we still have a month and a half left of the season to get better. And how can we get better to where we can make some noise in the district and maybe get to the region? So, I think. We do put a lot of emphasis on it because it is a big thing for us and for our school. But at the same time, you have to move on. Like, it is tough being in the middle of the season, but I'm okay with the way that it is. It's you deal with what the hands are given to you.
Is the seating based on the RPI? I mean, how was that worked out, Coach?
Yeah. So last year, so they do it off of the. You caught me off guard here. The Massey, I think it's the Massey ratings is what they do it off of, what they base it off of previous years. Problem was last year they started the Class A regionals a little bit earlier before the Massey ratings were released. So we had to kind of go into scramble mode, and all the coaches had to kind of agree upon a seeding of what we thought was the most sufficient. Like, because a lot of us, we play each other up until that point anyway. So you can kind of see, like, we beat Presentation, but we lost to Holy Cross. And then Shawnee, they lost to us and they lost to Holy Cross, but they had a better record. So, you just get, it was kind of difficult last year, but typically I believe they go off the Massey ratings. I don't know if they've looked, last year they looked at like RPI. They did some of those aspects of it too, just to try to make it fair.
How many teams? I'm sorry, I'm so glad you're on here because I always read about this. How many teams is in that? Like, is it every Class A team a part of that, or is only so many?
No, every Class A team's part of it. Yeah. So so I believe there's, let's see, so there's Shawnee, I believe Shawnee, St. Francis, Beth Haven, us, Presentation, and Holy Cross are in it. And like I said, last year we beat Presentation. We got to the championship against Holy Cross, and then we had to forfeit that game. So, we'll see. We're excited to get after it and hopefully just continue to get better. We had a really good summer, so I'm looking forward to hopefully making a run this year at it.
That's a nice. So the Class A is basically just the Louisville team. This tournament.
No, so Class A. So for the region, so it's just like a normal. It's like a normal state tournament.
Okay.
So you have to win your region to go to state. They take 16 teams.
Okay.
So you're in your specific region, and if you win your region of your Class A, then you get to go, and then you get to play in that Class A. You go to EKU, so they play at Eastern Kentucky, and so they play the state tournament there. So then they do drawings just like they would do for the regular state. The Big 4A state. They do drawings like they normally would do. So they pair you up. You might be paired up with Region 2, and so you play the Region 2. You might play Pikeville or Bethlehem or someone like that.
Very similar. It's very similar to the big one. And
yeah.
My thing is this. So we talking about this could be weeks, right? Like this turn.
So well, they play they try to do your regionals in 1 week, but then there's like a couple weeks off before you actually go to the state. So you'll have some games in between there before you actually go to the state tournament.
Okay, that's neat. Hey, I mean, first of all, who's the AD? Who's you guys AD?
Yeah, our athletic director is Chuck Hadaway. He's been there 3 years, maybe 4. Well, he's going in his 4th year as well, I believe. So he's going in his 4th year. He does an awesome job, excellent job. It's tough to manage, when you think about it, K through 12, managing all those sports and all our kids. It's amazing. So I have a younger daughter that plays soccer in the elementary level of Portland. And she, as small as it is, we have 3 elementary soccer teams, which is crazy. I mean, for as many kids as there are, that's pretty much like every kid's playing soccer, So it's, the thing is we have a huge percentage of our students that actually play athletics. I don't know the percentage, but I would venture to say it's one of the highest in the state because we have most of our players are playing multiple sports. They're playing volleyball, then going into basketball, then playing softball. We have several girls that play all 3 of those, so it's an interesting dynamic of it. But it's tough. When you talk about so many teams. Especially when basketball season comes, you have your boys and your girls, and you have high school, and you have JV, and you have 2 8th grade teams, 2 middle school teams, and you have a couple 5th grade teams. And I mean, everybody plays basketball at Portland. So it's a nice aspect, but then you have to talk about like gym space and what that looks like as well. So, but he does an excellent job. Yeah, he's great.
Coach, how'd you get it? How'd you get into coaching?
Yeah, it's funny. So I went to school at Christian Academy in Louisville. Graduated there in the year 2000. Actually, I made honorable mention All State my senior year, and then had a few different. I was talking to a few different schools, had some letters, but ultimately I just decided that I just wasn't going to play in college. More than likely, I was probably just going to be sit the bench in college. So I just I'm going to focus on my academics. I actually went over to IU Southeast, and that's where I was going. I actually went to a couple open gyms, and the coach asked me if I wanted to come on and work out with the team and stuff. But anyways, it's funny because when I was I think maybe when I was a sophomore in college, I had a friend of our family who said, "Hey, you played basketball, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I played basketball. How would you like? We have a team over here, this little small team in middle school boys. Would you like to coach them?" And I was like, "Well, I never thought about coaching." So I went there and started off coaching probably sophomore year in college, coached for, probably 5 or 6 years between there. And then I went to KCD and coached at Kentucky Country Day for a little bit. And then I took some time off once I started having kids and then got back into it once they got old enough. But, yeah, it's funny because, back then I look at myself and I thought I knew everything, when I was in college. I thought I was, the next Rick Pitino or something. And now I look back at myself and just want to slap myself. It's crazy.
That's good stuff, though.
Hey, Coach, before we hit you with the last question, you got an NFL team?
Yeah, you all are not going to like it, though. I don't know if I want to say it. Maybe I should just say, what, Steelers and Cowboys, what I should say. Is that right?
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
No, I'm a Packers fan. I've always been.
You're like the third or
I know.
right guess.
Hey, I know. I've watched you all the last few nights, and I saw there's been Packers fans on here. I'm like, oh gosh, now they're gonna bring me on. They're gonna ask me that question, and I'm gonna say Packers, and they're like, not another one. But hey, I'll say, from the Steelers side, my dad was a huge Steelers fan, still is a big Steelers fan. So I've always grew up cheering for them as well. I've always cheered for the Steelers as well. It's been a team that I've enjoyed back when Jerome Bettis, back in his days, is when I really started following them as well. So
that's not going to get you back on, Coach.
All right, I got you. It's all right. That's all right.
Hold on. Who's your baseball team? Because I saw the Reds. The head-on, is that your team?
Yeah, no, not really. I'm not a huge. I mean, I follow baseball. It's funny because the Reds. I was just wearing that hat. My son, he played in Little League, and he was on the Reds, and I was assistant coach on the team. So that's where the Reds hat came from. I'm not a big Reds fan. I mean, they're terrible anyways as it is. But but I'm not. I don't really have a favorite baseball team. I've always been football and basketball has been really my main sports. As far as basketball goes, my favorite team is the Denver Nuggets. Kind of odd, different, but I enjoy it, and hopefully they'll have a good year. They got hopefully with Murray coming back and Porter coming back, with Jokic and Aaron Gordon, they should make a good run this year. I feel like they're going to be pretty solid. So people are sleeping on them a little bit, but they got some key people coming back.
Yeah, they need that. I mean, it's a fun team to watch. I mean, I like the Joker big time. Yeah. Coach, real quick before we hit him with the last, we got another good one for you. If it's one thing you can change in the high school girls basketball, what would it be?
That's a tough one. I think probably most people would talk about a shot clock. I think that's probably the consensus of what most people will say. And I'm okay with the shot clock either way. I have never been a part of a game where we've really needed a shot clock. I feel like you get out there and play defense. It's, you see those videos of people are just standing there. It's like, well, get out there and play some defense. Like, do something. Why are you letting them just stand there for? But, honestly, the issues that I have with shot clock, it comes down to is, especially for a school like ourselves, the KHSA has to really think about these things. And a lot of people will disagree with me, especially some of the larger schools. And I'm totally fine with that. But I think, when you look at a school like ourselves or look at some of these smaller Class A schools, there's a lot of small schools in this state. And how do we pay for those? Right? Like, who's paying for those shot clocks? Who's paying for the person who's actually going to be at the scoreboard, who's pushing those buttons? We're going to have to pay an extra person at the scoreboards table to take control of that. And, for a small school like ourselves, I mean, even though we're a private school, what people think we're just made of money over here. We're not at all. We don't have a lot of money sitting around where we can just do something like that. So I think that's probably the hot topic as far as, talking about a shot clock. As far as the game goes, I'll give you something here. I think not necessarily at the high school level. One thing that I would love to see changed is that I believe that at an early age, I'm talking elementary, maybe even through fifth grade, and I'll have people disagree with me on this as well. And hey, I'm good with that kind of stuff. I like to toss around different ideas, but especially on the girls' side, you see little third graders who are out there shooting on 10-foot goals with the heavy ball, and I don't think it does anybody any good. If it was up to me, we would play 3-on-3 leagues. We would play with the goal lower, or maybe even a lighter ball. So that way we can really teach form and teach the way the game that's supposed to be played. I believe 3-on-3 play as opposed to 5-on-5, you can teach more about spacing, about screening and back cuts. You can really teach more when you get 5-on-5 in third and fourth and fifth grade. I mean, it's sometimes very chaotic, and I don't know how much it really helps the kids at that age. Now, you're going to have some kids, right? You're going to have some kids that are just superstars, right? I mean, it doesn't matter. They can go out the big ball and play on 10-foot goals and, cross people up and shoot threes and dominate. But the majority of kids are not at that level. And I think we would see a huge uptick in people sticking with something, and really just the fundamental sound of playing basketball and the shooting and just the knowledge of the game would increase dramatically if we lower those goals and let them play, at an early age, and really teach them, with their form, with their shooting, and how they're supposed to shoot the ball, as opposed to just, chucking it up with two hands. And then it doesn't teach them anything. So that's kind of my hot take. I think that there's a couple people around that do it, and I'm very happy that they do that.
I actually lied to you, Coach. One thing I do want to ask is another thing is
Yeah.
a rundown of some of the players that maybe people don't know. They know what's her name? Ailey. What's her name?
Yeah, Ellie Hyde. Yeah. So if you don't mind, we have a small team.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, actually, a good friend of the show actually recommended her when we was doing our all little Metro team. So yeah. Okay, go ahead, Coach. Anyway, go ahead.
Yes. So if you don't mind, if we have a minute, I'd like to go through just a couple real quick. Several of them, just to go through our senior, junior. We're small, so it's only going to take a minute or two to go through them all.
Okay, Coach.
I won't go through the freshmen.
Shot clock, Coach. Go ahead.
All right. You wave your hands. Hey, you wave your hands when you want me to be done. I'll talk all day. I'll talk sports with you all night long. We'd be here till midnight if you want. You're gonna have to shut me up here. So no. So real quick, our seniors, we have Ellie Hyde, who I've talked about in this broadcast. She's been all-region player the last 3 years. So she's definitely a top-notch player. Arguably sees some of the toughest defense because she sees a lot of boxing ones and sees the toughest defender always on her, and she still can go out there and put buckets on you. So, so she's returning. Our other senior, Kayla Ballard, who has about 9 offers so far. She's a 6-foot shooting guard / maybe small forward. So she's a great player as far as getting outside, knocking down threes. Always to have someone that tall in your program that can be a guard is a good thing. And then obviously our other senior, Ruby Hyde, who I was talking about earlier, she was top 50 in the state in rebounding as a sophomore. She tore her ACL, so she was out. I think she's going to have a big year when she comes back. Adds a whole different dynamic to our team. And you go to the junior class, we have Audrey Evans, who is really come a long ways. Never seen a shot she doesn't like. She reminds me of Russ Smith. It's going up. It's going up when she gets it. But I like that because she was real passive early on. And then our other junior, Reagan Mulvey, some of the best footwork for a big that you can see. And then we got 4 sophomores. My daughter actually plays on the team, Addie Bragg. So she had a triple double at the end of the year. That's my little brag moment for her. She had a triple double, but she doesn't have to score a lot. But I tell her, you got to get in there and you got to get steals and rebounds. And she averaged, I think, 7 steals a game over the last 10 games of the year. So happy for her. And then we have Rhea Hyde, who's cousins and stuff of Ruby and Ellie. And so she's going to be a great player, big contributor for us as well. And we have 2 transfers that came in who's going to be sophomores. So we have a girl from Mercy, Piper Scott, who's going to really fit in well with our team. She's had a great summer, guard, quick, should really be able to help, especially when Ellie leaves. When Ellie Hyde leaves, she's going to be able to step in there and really help us continue the momentum of our program. And then we have a girl named Raquel Eisenberg, who's a transfer from Christian Academy, who's going to be a big help for us as well. And then we have a ton of freshmen. I'm not going to go through all of them, but we have a ton of freshmen who came in this year. And, it's just about developing for them. We're going to have a JV team this year, so it'll be great for them to really develop. But we do have a girl who played as an 8th grader for us, Ava Gish. And I will tell you right now, that's a name that you want to get familiar with, and everybody in the city of Louisville needs to be familiar with, because she is hands down, in my opinion, she'll be one of the top 10 freshmen in the city of Louisville easily. Without a doubt, she's our best shooter on our team. She can flat out shoot the ball. If you leave her open, she's knocking it down. And she's going to be a name. She doesn't play AAU ball, so she's a big softball player. Like, she's fantastic softball, but she doesn't play AAU basketball. So she doesn't get the notoriety that she should. But when you see her and you see how she can shoot and how she can play, people can get real shocked with her. She's a tough player. So. Anyways, I won't go through the rest of them, but hey, I appreciate you letting me plug in all those girls, because they're all well deserved. They need it for sure. They're definitely well deserved for it.
No problem.
All right, Coach, this is the time to where we'll give you the floor to thank everybody who's been in your corner.
Yeah, man. I first and foremost, my wife. I'm just thankful that she gives. I mean, it's hard being a coach's wife. Continuous time away from the family, always, on the computer watching video stats and filming, and it's tough, being away from practice and games and doing all that. But the most important person to me is her, and she's definitely my rock, and I'm just super proud that she allows me to do what I love to do. But no, just a lot of great support within the Portland Christian family. As well as even some people, outside of our family have given me a lot of support throughout the year. So I'm very thankful for everybody around me.
Hey, Coach, thank you. Thank you for joining us. And we'll definitely be reaching back out to you to get some more some more knowledge of the Portland Christian. And actually, definitely win that Class A tournament, because I'm very intrigued with that. Yeah. This the scheduling and all that kind of stuff. So wish you guys nothing but the best. And I tell you what, just to hear you talk about, the different things, I know they got the right leader in place. So thank you, Coach, for joining us tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys so much. I appreciate it. You'll have a good one.
You too, Coach. He's the type, like, he remind me of Tony Romo. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he knows the play. Yeah. So I can you imagine watching the game with him, and he's going to break it down.
He's breaking everything down.
Oh, yeah. Like, look.
It's great after next.
I like it though. You know what I'm saying? Because some of the things you don't get to see. And like, for him to be able to, run us through, not even just the Class A, but just the everything, the offense and things like that. Hey, man, that's woo-wee. Love it. I'm telling you, this week, hey, don't stop. We got bangers, nothing but this week. Bangers. Still working on see what we're gonna do tomorrow, but I tell you what, we got we got a coach that's coming on Wednesday. It's should rock your world. We got a basketball player that's probably one of the next best thing to come out of Louisville. So it's gonna be on Thursday. So make sure you guys continue to watch and support. We love you guys.
Please be safe out here.
You know that's right. He's not playing. Good night.
Absolutely.
God bless.
Yes, sir.
It's 8 p.m. Let's get it. Mark and Will, yeah. Mark and Will, yeah. It's the Mark and Will Show. It's the Mark and Will Show. Monday through Friday, player. Watch it while you on the go. It's the Mark and Will Show. It's the Mark and Will Show. Catch them at 8 p.m. They gon' tell you what they know. It's the Mark and Will Show. It's the Mark and Will Show. Monday through Friday, player. Watch it while you on the go. It's the Mark and Will Show. It's the Mark and Will Show. Catch them at 8 p.m. They gon' tell you what they know.